I'm ready, mate.
Alright, greetings everyone. My name is Joseph Brett. I am monitoring on behalf of Adrian and Astrobrant. Adrian is representative with AWE130. We'll start with introductions. As I said, my name is Joseph. I've been kind of a voice of neutrality through most of the various videos on YouTube regarding the moon hoax. I do in fact believe we went. However, I have also argued strongly in favor of behavior between both sides, treating each other equally. I have friends on both sides of the debate and choose to take as little side as possible. That's about all I really want to say about myself. First up, Adrian, would you like to say anything about yourself?
Well, it's actually the same as before. We are AWE130. We are not very interested in telling a lot about ourselves. The moon landing debate is too important to get egos involved.
Okay, and on the pro-Apollo side, we have Astrobrant, who will be known as Brant from this point on. Brant, would you like to say something about yourself?
Sure, Joseph, thank you. Hello, I'm Astrobrant2 and I'm Apollo Defender. I do not work for NASA, and I'm not paid to do this, as some hoax believers like to claim. I do not officially represent Apollo Lunar Surface Journal, and the things I say in this debate are entirely my own doing. I have an account with YouTube, and most of my videos involve debunking Apollo hoax claims. I haven't made a video in a year, but intend to start again very soon. In fact, I believe my first video will be about this debate, and I hope to have it done in time to upload it as a Christmas present for Adrian. I'm a retired teacher with 27 years in the public school system and 3 years of teaching GED prep in a local jail. And no, I was not an inmate. I've been an amateur astronomer and an avid student of space science for almost 50 years, and have taught 9th grade science, including a man in space unit. I have a master's in education, but claim no special credentials where space exploration is concerned. The success of my arguments will depend on their own merits, not on prior achievements. So that listeners will understand if they hear any dead air from me during my speaking time. I have bronchial congestion that causes coughing spells. Out of consideration to other people, when I feel one coming on, I'm going to turn my mic off and then come right back as soon as I recover from that. Hopefully it won't happen too much.
Okay. I'm going to assume that that dead space there was the end of your opening?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Alright, and I do hope that you do not suffer any coughing spells. Alright, gentlemen, I believe since Adrian is presenting all the claims during this debate, he will have the opening remarks. Adrian, are you prepared?
Yeah, we are prepared, Joe.
Okay, then I will start your timer at 3, and there you go.
Alright, thank you very much, Joe, for that. Welcome, everybody. We start again with a little poll in the Netherlands that is you can find on our website. You can see the results, and it's still running actually. So if you want to vote, just click on the link on the website and you can vote. Basically, the question is, it's in Dutch, but you can translate it to English. There's a button somewhere, you can find it. Have people been on the moon? That is the question, and the answers are quite interesting. Yes, Neil Armstrong was the first in 1969, 35.3%. No, it's all a hoax, 23.2%. Yes, but not in 1969, 22.7%. And no, I have some doubt, 18.9%. This poll shows clearly that there is a big group of people that not absolutely sure that everything is as presented. AWE130 represents the people that have some doubt about the Apollo moon landings, and we investigate why people have doubts about the Apollo moon landings. In the first debate with Brent earlier this year, Brent was in support of a question we had to label images better in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. He also told us that he would contact NASA himself, so one of the first questions we would like to ask him what the results were of that contact, and if he wants to share them with us. During the last months, AWE130 has done some work to see if find some sources for the doubts some people seem to have today about the Apollo moon landings. In the first debate with Brent again, he told us if we would find some altered or photoshopped material in the Apollo Lunar Surface journal, he would listen to us. Well, we have found some Photoshop material for him, and we would like to debate that with him. The last months we have corrected the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. If the Apollo moon landings are, it's important that we have a correct historical archive and correct information. From the first moment on, we have been very clear to the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors that we had some doubt, but if the Apollo moon landings were real, that it was important that the archives were historical correct. We also told that we do understand that a historical archive, as the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, will have some mistakes, and that in itself is not a problem, as long as these errors and mistakes get corrected, of course first investigated, to come to the right conclusion based on the new information. We will debate our findings.
Just let you know the 3 minutes is up.
Let him go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
You can finish though.
Oh, sorry for that, Joe. We will debate our findings and our communication with the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors, and we will debate this with Brent. A little over a month ago, the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors asked us not to contact them anymore because they were not impressed with our findings. We will see in the debate with Astrobrant2 what will happen and what we have found. Sorry for that to go over the 3 minutes.
No worries, I just give you a warning.
It's okay. If I go over by a few seconds, then we can trade
okay,
on. No problem.
Both sides. Yes, both sides.
I want to make sure everybody has a chance to say what they want to say. Okay, let me know when, Joseph.
Okay, Brent, your opening remarks start at this moment now.
Okay. Before I begin, I would like to thank YouTube users Bertie Slack and Brian Pop Robson for providing me with much useful information for this debate. A year ago, AWE130, or Adrian, challenged me to a debate, does NASA alter Apollo photographs? I told him that original mission photos are not altered, that copies of those pictures are sometimes cosmetically edited for later publication. Adrian asked where he could find unedited mission photos, and I referred him to the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal. Since then, he's been trying to find anything he could to discredit them. I have never seen any case where a picture was altered for the purpose of deceiving anyone about what was really there. The ALSJ is a marvelous internet resource containing vast amounts of Apollo data, including an image library for each mission. Those archives, like any library, are divided into sections, the largest being a catalog of mission photos, faithfully scanned from original negatives. Each gallery also has a section titled Assembled Panoramas. In addition to panoramic composites, there are mosaics, which show areas larger than would have been possible in a single shot. Adrian has objected to some of these composites being in what he calls the historic section, when it should be clear to any reasonable person that they are artistic combinations of mission photos. Adrian accuses ALSJ editors of photoshopping many, perhaps hundreds, of photographs. For at least 2 years, he has been deliberately using language intended to give the impression that NASA has been engaged in faking photographs, presumably because Apollo was faked. Today, I will attempt to explain to Adrian again what constitutes acceptable alteration of a photo, especially when it is in a section entitled Assembled Panoramas. He also has problems with the mission photos, and we'll be discussing them. His complaints have already been addressed by others, which makes me wonder why he is still debating them and why he is alleging any kind of wrongdoing on the part of ALSJ personnel. I believe we will see that Adrian's photographic discoveries are inconsequential, frivolous, or just plain wrong. I'm done.
Okay. I was about to ask you if you were going to call your time here. Then,
Oh yeah, you got to watch out. I might have been coughing. Okay, I'll tell you when I'm done. All right, from now on, when I get finished, I'll say so.
okay, well, that is our opening remarks. Adrian, do you have any rebuttal you'd like to make? Or would you gentlemen like to go into the open portion?
Well, yeah, a small thing. I had a little problem with the live broadcasting, so a little bit is missing of it. Sorry for that, but I have a high CPU that has to do with the router to get some packages in. Not sure exactly myself what is going on, but that is for the technical guys. So sorry for that. It was a little bit we missed. We hope you recorded it, Joe, so we can borrow it from you later on.
Okay, I actually should have it all recorded, so that shouldn't be too big a problem for archiving. So no rebuttals?
Trying to structure my preparation for what was agreed upon as far as rebuttals and so forth. You've got a 2-minute rebuttal period, and you can use it if you want or not. I don't care, but I have a 2-minute rebuttal to that.
I will use it.
Okay, then your 2 minutes starts now.
Yes,
Now.
All right. So what we would like to discuss with Brent is basically some images we found where he was talking about the Apollo Lunar Surface journals and how they came to conclusions, but are maybe not exactly the right conclusions. We're not claiming that everything is a hoax or everything is fake, but something is wrong with photo and film material. That is basically the message we want to bring across. Also, to ridicule and bully and insult people who disagree with you is not to debate an issue as the moon landings. We can agree or we can disagree on certain things, that's okay. But I think you should always use arguments instead of ridicule, bullying or insulting other people. Brand is part of a group who use that basically a lot online and for sure on YouTube, and we strongly disagree with that. Our position is very clear. We have some doubt. We have no problems if people say that we are absolutely believe that it is a hoax. That is absolutely not true. That is not the position of AWE130. We investigate, we ask questions, and we try to find answers. That is what we do. We have done that, but lately there are some problems with the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors, and we will address these points here tonight in this debate.
That all you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will pass the floor to Brant. Starting.
Okay, and those comments were kind of general and fair. And I have a prepared rebuttal that I can alter a little bit, but it's I think general enough that it should be okay here. It'll be difficult for the listener to follow much of what we're talking about since it has to do with details of photographs. In the video I'm presently working on, I will show these photos and give commentary with reference to this debate. It is important for the viewer to realize that these are by no means the first photographic claims made by AWE130, but this is the first time that he has actually pointed an accusing finger at named people. Eric Jones is the chief editor of the ALSJ. He is a scientist with a PhD and a distinguished career. He does not deserve to be accused of any wrongdoing, and he has told me he does not want to get involved in this or any other Apollo debate as far as the authenticity of the program or the photographs. Who can blame him? Initially, I believe the editors, well, let's see, Adrian's already said that he came on saying that he had doubts. But when ALSJ terminated communications with Adrian, I think this was a major blow to his evident ambition of making AWE130 an international household word. Adrian is now retaliating. Apparently, hell hath no fury like a conspiracy theorist scorned. I see this as being like a court case where Adrian is the prosecutor and I am the defense counsel. He has to prove his case against ALSJ. I will contest those allegations, but I believe his claims are so weak and frivolous that Adrian would lose this debate even if he didn't have an opponent. I'm done.
Okay, just a reminder that we are here peacefully, and alright, moving along to the open portion. You gentlemen may now speak amongst yourselves. I will, of course, call a pause if I hear you guys talking over each other. Foul language will not be tolerated, and that's all. Any questions?
Yeah, Judge Joseph, looks like we're ready for you to call for Exhibit A. I do have a couple of comments, regarding the remarks he made in his introduction, but I think we can work those in while we're discussing this.
Okay. Then, Adrian, could you please present your first piece of evidence? Adrian?
Hello?
We thought we lost you.
Hello?
Are you okay over there, Adrian?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, thank you. Okay, the first bit is AS11405849. It is displayed now in the screen, so everybody can see it who is live online. This is an image from magazine 40. What we discovered was that the image doesn't show any crosshairs. We informed the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal of this finding, and it had quite some impact on basically the complete magazines from the moon, so that is 37, 39 and 40. It was a complete review of all those three magazines based on this one image. One of the things where we are baffled by is the following. You see on the left hand side the image stored in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. Then the smaller image is in the LPI archive. Well, obviously you see that the Apollo Lunar Surface journal does not use the complete image. The image is cropped. We also informed the Apollo Lunar Surface journals about this, but they corrected the part of the crosshairs, so they recognized that claim, but did not take the effort to also upload the correct image. So that is the first part we want to talk about. Also, this image is stored in the NASA documentation as taken with the crosshair camera. I think some more investigation had to be done into this image. We have done some more investigation, and later this year, or basically next year, we will show what we have found, and that is actually quite interesting. But for now, basically what we don't understand from the editors of the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, why they didn't upload the correct image after it was already shown by us that it was basically wrong labeled. I think for the historical archive, the moment you get that, you also straight away re-upload the correct image. So we would like to hear the reaction from Brand on that.
Okay. Yes, and I want to thank you for putting these up. It's too bad that they were lost from your website, but you managed to get at least something up in the meantime, and I am aware of the photos that you're bringing in. This was one of them I had a chance to review. In the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal, there is a lengthy discussion of this. In fact, it got so complicated and so involved, I didn't even really try to read the whole thing. It was quite long and involved a lot of discussion concerning about which camera was used to take which pictures. And of course, you've discovered in the meantime then that these magazines are interchangeable from one camera to another. And the bottom line for them was that they really just don't have any way of knowing when the astronauts switched from the IVA camera to the EVA cameras, which have the bezel plate with the fiducials or crosshairs on it. I'm looking at the picture right now, and you're right, it has no crosshairs. In fact, there were a couple of others I saw that were taken from inside the LEM that didn't have any crosshairs on them. Anybody who wants to see what the discussion was on that can go to this image. I'll say it again for you, AS11-405849, and you will see in the notation there is a link to a discussion, and it's really way too long and complex for us to go into here. But it was simply a matter of one camera, two cameras having one magazine being switched back and forth between them. So the missing crosshairs on this are well explained. I don't know what you mean by the correcting the crosshairs, and I don't know what you mean by that it was taken with the crosshair camera. Clearly it wasn't. You said it was wrong label. You weren't specific. But let me ask you this question. I think it's more to the point. Why do you think there would be a picture taken that didn't show crosshairs when it should have?
Well, we don't say that this image shows crosshairs. We found that it doesn't show crosshairs, and the question basically we asked was like, okay, what is going on? According to the official NASA documentation, we have that bit what you can read there is from the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. It's taken with a 60mm lens. That is the official documentation, and that is the crosshair camera. We have given the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors a few options, but we would investigate. That is one that the crosshairs were like, let's say, altered out or enhanced, whatever you want to call it. We found also a position of what could be a crosshair. We investigated that. It was in exactly the same position. But then you need to use the correct image, so the image on the right hand side, and not the cropped version, because then it doesn't match up. That doesn't that the image should show crosshairs, but also the NASA documentation is talking about this. So I think a little bit better investigation should have been done. Like I said, later on this year we will show what actually is completely unexplainable with this image. It's a very interesting investigation we're doing at this moment. I cannot say too much more about it, but it will show some very good questions. Unfortunately, we cannot share it with the Apollo Lunar Surface.
Okay,
yes?
Adrian, I did ask you a question. The question was, what would be your explanation for why crosshairs would not show up in a picture when you think they should?
I don't say they should. I asked a question, said like, what is going on? So the problem is with switching the magazine. The moment you switch the magazine, basically the picture before should be like get more light. Yeah, that doesn't. It's one of the things you should investigate, because that's what said in the Apollo Lunar Surface journal and other magazines. So they should be get some extra light. You will see it.
I hate to interrupt, but if you don't mind, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
It sounded like you just said that a photo should have extra exposure because it's was it because of the last in a roll or the first in a roll?
No, yeah, that's the image.
Different
that's
lenses.
The image.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the image. Yeah, so that is one of the questions we investigating, and we welcome everybody who wants to join that investigation. You know, we haven't
Well, Adrian,
said.
you do realize that different camera lenses that they were adjustable for exposure.
Yes.
So there's no standard, there's no ground, baseline that you could use for comparing one to the other, since they are adjustable.
No, but Well, it's an interesting investigation. Maybe you would like to join it. We have no problems with that. But something is going on with this image, we can tell you. And if it should show crosshairs or not, at least the NASA documentation says that it should show crosshairs. So we will see. We will see when we come up with the investigation.
Have you had a chance to read that discussion that they have a link to?
Yes, I read that discussion. Yeah.
And you're saying that they still say that this picture should have had crosshairs or the camera that used should have been for this picture, or did they correct that? Because it's easy to see how they may have mislabeled it.
Well, it's not very easy to see how they mislabeled it if you really look into it.
Yeah, it is.
We don't say
it's because they switched cameras, and we have no idea during which pictures they switched these back and forth. There wasn't clear documentation of when that occurred.
The investigation that is at this moment done by some people within AWE130, we will exact pinpoint when it's done. It's quite interesting, but I say, like, I cannot give too much details at this moment now because it's still in investigation, but it will be an interesting investigation. If that is being shown, then this image is quite a problem in the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal. It doesn't mean that the Apollo moon landings were faked or whatever, but something is wrong with the photo and film material. And the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal editors can jump to very quick conclusions. That is the problem.
I don't see anything wrong with it, and they made a very detailed description of the switching of cameras and why one would show crosshairs and another one wouldn't. I'm satisfied. I don't see anything that would be any cause for concern, and I don't believe this evidence implies any kind of wrongdoing on the part of ALSJ. Let's remember, you have asked for their editors to step down, and that's a serious accusation, and you need to come up with better evidence than this.
We're just starting. So they haven't done a good investigation in this image. That's the problem. The problem is that they look to these images with the eyes of people who are sometimes blind for the Apollo project. They absolutely sure it happened, and anything what is a question, they basically start to bully and argue away. We noticed that actually also with the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal editors. They do exactly the same, and this is a very bad behavior, what you would not expect from somebody who's running an historic archive. You should take everybody serious, even if you disagree with that person. The moment you have a point, you have to listen, and I think to be open to the debate, but we actually never had really that feeling that they were open for the debate. They went for quick conclusions and tried to get over as quick as possible, and we will show that in the future.
Well, I think they took it seriously enough and were polite enough to go to the trouble to make about a 3-page explanation of what was happening with those cameras, which completely explains the questions and the problems that you have about them. I don't believe there's anything here that needs to be dealt with any further.
Well, okay, then we are done about this image. Maybe we can go to the next one.
Okay, please present your next image.
Is that okay with you, Brent?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, here comes the next one. This is a discovery we made in image 5505. We have a copy of this image, as we have a copy of all the images. In the left-hand corner in the first image there was an object we found that was until then not discovered, and but it was the sampler ring basically. Quite interesting discovery. And we found some more images actually that showed this ring. Well, there was one image on the right-hand side, 5871. We also put in that image, but we also said to the editors of the Apollo Lunar Surface journals that we were not sure that that was the ring. We magnified it in the right-hand side. Well, I don't know. Look at it. Do you think that is the sample ring? I think it's something completely different. But again, when we informed them about it, they went for the quick and simple solution, not investigating it, and just say that it's the sample ring. Well, I don't know. You can look at it yourself. What do you think, Brent? What is it?
it looks like it's the sampling ring. You provided them with a detail, and it looked pretty good to me. It's on different sides of the shadow in different pictures because the shadow's moved, so give it a different appearance. And it's taken from a different angle, so it won't look identical. But yeah, it's the ring, and so what's the deal with that?
So to you, this is the sample ring.
What's the problem with that?
Well, we think it's not the sample ring, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that. I hadn't heard you ever say that before.
No, we haven't ever said that before. We see what they have changed, and if they send us an email like "in contact anymore, we're not impressed with your work," that's okay, of course. Everybody may have his opinion. We have no comment with that. But this is not the sample ring, I can tell you.
But you went to great pains to prove that it was, and you got a credit for discovering it. Are you going to ask them to remove that credit now?
No. The others is indeed the sample ring. But this image, the 5871, is not the sample ring in our opinion. And if you look at it,
maybe not.
No, but look at it. Be honest. You know, that's the only thing I want to show to you is why we asked the top editors to step down. They make too many mistakes, and they have done good work. Don't worry about that. But
well, who judges what's a mistake? You?
Well, we show you that now. How simple they jump to conclusions. This is not a sample ring.
This is taken from a different angle. It's taken from a different angle. It's the same size. It's in the proper location. It looks like the same thing to me. It's not a difference. What do you think it is? What do you think there is a problem with this?
Well, that needs some more investigation.
Did they claim it was the sample ring, or did you?
Well, no, they have. When we discovered the sample ring, and also in other images, what basically happened was that they recognized that claim. The other images are indeed correct. That is, I think, the sample ring. That's no problem. But this image, we also informed them in an email. We are not sure about this one. Have a look at it. It's just labeled as the sample ring. And we have
that's what it looks like to me.
Well, yeah, all right. That's okay. But I think you will not find much support with it. The guys to analyze the photos material.
Hey, Adrian. I apologize. I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Let's say this isn't what you're saying, or let's say it's not the sample ring. What really do you think it is, and how does that affect the legitimacy of the Apollo landings?
No, it doesn't.
Photography.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we just we represent the people that doubt. And where does that doubt come from? We would come back on that later, but I can do it now. If you look at the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal, what should be the historical archive of the Apollo moon landings, it's basically it's absolutely incorrect. And the problem is, the moment you find something, they try to get away from it as quick as possible, make a quick conclusion, everybody is happy, and don't talk about it anymore. The moment,
well, Adrian, I don't believe it's absolutely incorrect. I think you are absolutely incorrect, and they are probably wise not to have any further communication with you. I know the background of this ring thing, if you'd allow me. Initially, you had a video trying to claim that it couldn't have been the ring because it was on the wrong side of the limb from where Neil Armstrong apparently dropped it. But it was pointed out to you by Bertie Slack that Neil Armstrong did not drop it where he was standing. He tossed it, and he proved it to you, and you withdrew that complaint. But you didn't give up on the ring idea. You submitted his correction to to ALSJ, taking credit for the correction he made of you, and saying it was in a different location and the distance that he threw it. And now you're claiming that these other pictures aren't the ring. It's like, why don't you just give up when you've lost a point?
I don't know what you're saying. We discovered the 5505 ring. We were not sure what it was at that moment, and what we always do, we put out a question, so we don't claim that much. You should have learned that by now. We put out a question, and we say, like, look what we found, what could it be? It's exactly the same we have done with the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. With the editors, look what we have found with the sample ring. We worked together with some other people indeed.
And they credited you for that very insignificant
It's
discovery.
not about credits,
yes.
mate. It's not about credits. It's about.
But they gave you credit for that. Okay, it's a very insignificant discovery. Okay, they were being nice to you. Okay, they were being polite. I want to see where the accusations come in here on this.
Well, you get the accusations. Then also we told basically the Apollo Lunar Surface journals that they could calculate at that moment that we know from the 60mm footage how far the ring was thrown, and that came out in a 5 meters.
Yeah, that was what Birdie Slack told you.
Yeah,
and you submitted it to ALSJ as if it was your work.
You are completely wrong. You are completely wrong. We didn't say anything to the Apollo Lunar Surface journal. The video you talk about, and this is what I mean with ridicule and insult what you do. What we said in the video you talk about is like, we think it's 11 meters, but it's open for discussion. Everybody can speak his mind. Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to remind Adrian that in this debate you are basically the prosecution and Brett is the defense, which means that if you're going to make claims, they should be solid. Brett will attempt to then discredit those claims, but if I hear a personal attack, don't worry, I will call it, and so you may continue.
Yeah, well then he should give the right information. Yeah, if you look at the video, in the video we say like, we think it could be an 11 meters,
can't.
But
took the video down. We can't look at it. You took it down after Birdie Slack pointed out your error.
The video is not down. The video is still up. What are you talking about?
Okay, and I'm wrong. He was wrong. He said you took it down. The video where you claim he couldn't have thrown it. You thought he dropped it at his feet, and the picture shows it in the wrong place. That's what it was about, right?
Rand, if you investigate something and somebody tells you something, you investigate it yourself. If you just copy what other people say, then you will come to wrong conclusions.
Oh, I read the thread in the Daily Mail. I read everything you wrote about it.
Yeah, well, you can read what you like, but we know our position. So the point is that you are giving wrong information. You're giving wrong information, and that is not correct. But going back to the ring, so basically what happened in this image, and I would like to go to the next image, is basically we informed the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal of what we had discovered the ring. Then one image 5847 we were not absolutely sure about, but they didn't do any investigation in it, because otherwise they would have come, I think, to a different conclusion. So
I disagree.
Yeah, well, you can disagree, but then you should find support with people that that are involved in the photo and film material. And I think that they will support that this is not a sample ring. We will later on, also next year, make a video what we think it is. So.
Oh, but you don't have anything to say what it is now.
We're still investigating it.
Still investigating. So this is the second picture you say you're still investigating. You need to come up with something more solid if you're going to ask respectable people to step down from their positions. Maybe we better move on to the next one, because we don't have a lot of time left.
Yes, plus I'm going to ask Adrian, are the remainder of your pictures all still in review? Or have you come to any conclusions on them?
Good question.
We will come to a conclusion. Don't worry. The next one, LPD.
Okay, let us proceed then.
Okay. All right. Yes, I'm familiar with it. Go ahead.
Well, we discovered some 8mm footage, and on the right-hand side you see this is from the original is from 16mm footage, and you see the LPD in it. This is a problem in this image. On the left-hand side, you see like a composition of 3 images that covers the same area. The LPD is not visible. Many pro-Apollo people claim this has to do with the fact that it's out of focus. That is a problem basically, because you would see some disturbance in the images.
I do see it.
Sorry?
I do see it.
What?
I see the disturbance from the out of focus LPD that you're referring to.
You see it?
Yeah. It appears to be a somewhat brownish pair of widely spread blurs that come up through the lunar terrain and on up into the sky. You can see both of them. They're very blurry. They're very faint, but it's what you would expect if a camera was held close to it and was set on a deep depth of field for the lunar terrain. It would be out of focus. And
Yep.
this is what other people have told you, and it's what I,
And here-
at first I disagreed with that, by the way, Adrian. I thought that the pictures you're referring to may have been taken with the camera just to the left of the LPD, because
Yeah, I
that, by
remember
the way,
that.
is a scale that's on the window for it's a landing point designator. It's to the right side, it's the right end of that window. A camera would easily fit just to the left of it. That's what I thought it was originally, but a couple people have shown me that it was really taken from about the same angle as the video camera, and it's just out of focus. That's what happens if you get a camera too close to something and have it set on infinity. Anything close to it will just disappear.
Well, yeah, this is interesting, and then you get the reflections in the nozzle, and that is even
Well,
like.
I've seen what you said about that. I have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing in that those nozzle reflections that looks at all unusual to me, and you
So
haven't
that's it.
specified what it is.
It's the LPD.
What?
That's the LPD. That's a reflection of the LPD.
On the nozzle, which is
Yes.
outside of the spacecraft? The LPD is on the window.
Yes, but there is reflections in the nozzle that most likely are the LPD. I give you beyond any doubt.
And they're on the dark by
On
the
the
sun.
sun. All right.
There's
If you look,
light shining on the window itself. Why would there be a reflection of a small scale on that window in
Yes.
a thruster nozzle 4 feet outside of the window?
Be
I don't
careful about talking over each other, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, I don't see anything like that. I mean, I don't know what in the world you're talking about.
well,
I was
it's,
afraid of that.
the people who are investigating it, they know about it. It is basically in the left side. You see that sunlit bit, and there's rounds in it that show just a reflection of the LPD. I cannot put anything else of what it should be. Let me put it that way. This is actually quite interesting. When I reported this to the Apollo Lunar Survey Journal, they were not impressed, and they didn't want to talk about it at all. They
Well,
basically,
I'm not impressed either, but I will talk about it.
yeah.
Why would
Right.
Why would there be a problem if even if you have seen the reflection of the LPD in that RCS thruster nozzle? What's the problem with that? So what?
So what? We will come back to that later because we don't have much time. But because you obviously not aware of what we're talking about at this moment, so we.
Well, I
Basically
understand
think-
now. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, so
No,
what? What's
exactly.
what's
Well, that's
the accusation related to that?
You guys talking over each other.
landings. Welcome to the moon landings. A lot of things don't make sense with the photo and film material.
Well, they don't
can
make
we
sense to you. They make sense to me.
No, but then that's why I advise you just first to look at it and then come back on it, because you're obviously not aware of like the reflections in the nozzle, and that's okay. But just look at it, and maybe we can debate about it another day.
What I asked you, so what? What's the big deal even if it is a reflection, even if it is what you say? So what?
You can calculate the position of the camera.
Oh, well, now this is all new. I haven't heard this before, but I'd love to see your calculations on that, Adrian. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, you could bet. All right, next one. This is an left-hand side is 8mm film, also stored in the AWE130 archives. And the turning of the flag, you obviously the same flag. Flag is turned like well, roughly. Don't hit me on it. 90%. Well, first 90%, 90 degrees. When I asked the Apollo Lunar Survey Journal about it, they again give a quick answer, and they basically referred me to somewhere where Neil Armstrong was talking about that he saw that the flag was turned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was obviously not what he was talking about here. What he was talking about here was that the flag was turned 90% of the time. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well, that was obvious not not what he was talking about here. Well Then later on, they uploaded quickly something they downloaded it from free vault, or is it footage vault, whatever, to get the same footage like uploaded to their website. No investigation is done, not explained. Because the problem is, for example, what Neil says is that the flag was quite unstable at the moment that he talked about it, that he saw the flag was turning. According to the Apollo Lunar Service Journal, this is much later. The flag is turned in, let's say, 90%, roughly. And the flag is not fallen over. So, very interesting what is going on here. Nothing is done as far as we know till this moment with this footage.
Okay, well, I'm familiar with it. I believe there was also some kind of, I'm not sure, let me clear it up for people who are watching. Throughout almost the entire EVA portion of the mission, the flag and the many pictures that we see of it is just rock solid. It doesn't move. It's in the same position. You also had problems with the shadow and showed a video which you say the shadow didn't apparently move, but it did, and I will show that in my video. You showed it in such a way so that watching your video. But near the end of the missions, that flag got turned somewhat. Now, there are some people who go with what Neil said, and you think you have a problem with that, I know because of the timing, that it shifted. And it may have shifted a little bit. He may have noticed a slight change. It's possible we're not talking about the same thing he was talking about. But it was also stated by Apollo Was Real, who did an excellent job in informing you on this, I know you've seen it, that there was a hot test of the RCS thrusters, which in a previous, in a later mission actually blew over the big antenna they had. So it was certainly enough to blow the flag when they did this hot test before takeoff. And that picture where it's turned is taken from inside the LEM before takeoff. So there's no reason to believe that it was anything but the thruster test which caused that flag to rotate around.
Yeah, but then the Apollo Lunar Service journals are stating the flag was very unstable after the first time Neil saw the flag turning, basically. So you're going to say now that with the thrusters, you know, that blast as hard as you say, the flag just turned like 90 degrees, it was very unstable?
Yeah.
Possible. Yeah, a lot of things are possible.
You can't blame the Apollo, the ALSJ editors for that, because they can't be expected to know every little detail of the mission. They can't be expected to know every pixel of a picture. But Apollo Was Real is a virtual encyclopedic resource on this stuff, and he explained that to you in the Daily Mail thread, and I thought you were ready to abandon that complaint.
We don't have a complaint. We want an answer to it. We don't have got an answer to it. That's basically what we should.
Either one of them might be true, but what is your what is your allegation on this that would impugn any kind of misconduct on the part of the people at ALSJ?
Well,
Joe, you still there?
I'm still here.
We lost Adrian again. We're running out of time, and I do have closing comments. I don't think they're going to throw me out of here, but if they do, I may have to leave rapidly.
Okay, let's see. As soon as Adrian gets back, I will...
Yeah, we lost him once before. He's trying to do a lot of things over there. He's probably multitasking too much.
Okay, I'm running out of hard drive as well, actually, so...
I think he wanted to do maybe another photo or two, but I really would have liked getting to the pan that he has a problem with, but I'll put that in my video because there's a very simple explanation for why the foregrounds look different in different pans. It's a very natural explanation that I figured out. And if the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal people didn't want to deal with it, well, you know, at a certain point they got to where, look, we don't want to hear any more of this. You're wasting our time. I think was their attitude, and I don't blame them for feeling that way.
Yeah.
We're private right now. This isn't being broadcast, is it?
No, the thing is offline, and Adrian isn't even here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Wait a while. And trying to unite people with his fundamentally anti-Apollo whisper agenda. I, for one, don't buy it. He made a press release asking for the resignation of Eric Jones. I have my own press release now. Eric Jones is not the one who needs to step down. AWE130 is. Adrian, if you want to help, if you want people to know the truth, then you should shut down your YouTube channel and webpage, shut up your whisper, and get off the internet. People from both sides will celebrate. Peace to you. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Brent, and I will get Adrian on the line later and get his closing comment. Thank you for being a part of this, and hopefully we'll find some debates in the future.
I'm sorry, I was talking over you. I don't believe you presented any evidence that would cast any kind of doubt on the integrity of the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal. But we will see more of this on YouTube, and my video hopefully will come out in a couple of days. Before I go, I'd like to thank you very much, Joseph, for doing this. I know you have a lot of things going on, and I really appreciate you taking over and being our moderator. I would certainly approve of your participation if you ever did it again, if you ever want to do it. But thank you very much. My time is up here, and so I'm going to have to take off now. Please let Adrian have any comments.
Of course, yeah, and I'll do it anytime you want.
Fence rests. Goodbye.
Have a good day. Yeah, he was at a library conference room for an hour.
All right, because yeah, there was still some interesting stuff coming up, so we couldn't finish it. Maybe we should finish it later on this year, or maybe probably next year, because the holidays are coming up.
Yeah, hopefully you can get your research finished on some of those pictures next time.
Well, the problem is, give me 1 second. So that I... Brand 2, or Brand as we should call him, was like why we said like that it's time for the top editors of the Apollo Lunar Surface journals to step down. Well, you see now the image of the left-hand side of Ed Hangeveld. This is a complete artistic presentation, basically. The sun you see is photoshopped in, and the antenna you see on top, the dish antenna, is not from Apollo 11 but from another mission. When we informed the Apollo Lunar Surface journals about this, they were not very happy, and basically we advised them to put the picture in a kind of artistic area. They have done that, but still have not adjusted the information. The last time we saw this a week or two ago, and that's basically about the antenna on the top. The antenna on the top of the image of Ed Hangeveld is from another Apollo mission. But according to the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, it's still from an Apollo 11 mission. So this kind of behavior by the Apollo Lunar Surface journal editors is basically a sign that you say like, okay, all the work you've done is quite impressive, it's quite good, no problems with that, but it's time to step down and let the new generation take it over and let them investigate the photo and film material. Basically, that was the end statement we want to make. Sorry, it was a little... Are you still there?
Yes, I am. I was just making sure that you were done.
Yeah, well, so far so good. It was a little bit chaotic in the end, but thank you, Joe, for moderating it again.
Of course.
We have open lines after this, so we saw some people like on Skype want to contact us. We will go do that after this. Maybe you have to say still something.
I guess my closing comments are that at least as far as treating this like a court case, I would probably hate to tell you this, Adrian, but I would not be able to rule in your favor at this time. However, the things to be continued to be left open, and in a future debate, hopefully more evidence can be brought forward.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had not the time to do the complete thing, Actually, we hadn't get an answer from Brent on his question what he got from the Apollo Lunar Service Journal and the reticle and the insult. So, yeah, I think we needed at least another half hour or 45 minutes to get everything.
It's entirely possible.
Presented to you. You want to judge something.
For the most part, both you and Brent managed to keep things civil. There was a few points I got worried, but and oddly enough, I think Brent might have been the one I was getting a little concerned with. But still, overall, I'd say that the debate went okay. Nothing to write home about. No offense.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was quite difficult.
In the future.
Yeah.
I would say in the future, Adrian, if you have stronger evidence that you are getting to, it would be best to start out with the strongest evidence, just in case we have to cut things short.
Well, it's maybe an idea, but yeah, we choose this setup. So, and there was actually a last bit where we would say like. Or at least would ask Brent something, but we keep that for another debate.
And as I said to Brent, I was happy to be a part of this event, and we'll do so again in the past.
Yep.
And
all right.
That's all I can think to say for now.
Thank you very much, Joe, for moderating again. Also, Brent, if you're still listening, or you will hear it later on. Thank you very much for the debate, and maybe we should up on where we were left, and then maybe for you it's easier to judge the information and to see what you think of it, Joe.
All right. Merry Christmas to all, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you very much. Okay, we go on with live broadcasting now. AWE. No, well, yeah, maybe we can basically go straight on into the.
Okay, then.
If Brent is okay with that.
Well,
Start there. Okay. Well, we paused for a moment there, and we're back. We've lost Adrian completely, and Brent, I'm going to give you a chance to give some closing comments now.
Oh. And if Adrian does come back and I'm not here, would you please give him an opportunity to respond? I think that would only be fair.
Of course.
Adrian's strategy has been to instill as much doubt as he can about Apollo, while claiming to be objective and open-minded. We've seen that here. His mantra is, "We are the people who doubt that Apollo put a man on the moon." Yet he vehemently denies being a hoax believer. This kind of contradiction can only come from a person who is either very confused or dishonest. Here are some of his own statements about himself in the Daily Mail forum. "We will support NASA, but also the conspiracy theory side, as both sides do have good arguments. And we do not support the conspiracy theory, nor the ALSJ or NASA. And we do not support the hoax nor the moon landings." 9 minutes after that, we represent the people that doubt the Apollo moon landings. If Adrian is really so undecided, who have a strong position on something, perhaps viewers can see why Apollo defenders doubt his pretense of being some kind of intellectual diplomat, open to arguments and questions from both sides, going.
Give me a second to finish what I have to say. Yeah, something weird happened basically, gentlemen. We live broadcasting again. We went completely got the flag, but then my PC went down.
At this point, due to the fact that Brent is no longer with us, I would like to call for any closing comments you might have. And we will or not.
The flag, so we finished that, and that was basically the last bit we would like to debate it with Brent, and that was about the image of Ed Hangeveld and how that is handled within the Apollo Lunar Service journals, and basically that would answer his question why we think that the editors of.
Okay, Adrian, could you please give your closing comments now?
All right, closing comments. The closing comments are basically one of the questions of